Welcome back to Legends and Lore. Today, we're not just talking about a weapon. We're talking about an icon, a symbol of power, worthiness, and raw, thunderous might. Of course, I'm referring to Mjölnir, Thor's legendary hammer. Thanks to modern interpretations, Mjölnir is perhaps one of the most recognizable mythical artifacts in the world. We see it on merchandise, in movies, and hear its name echoed in popular culture. But how much do we really know about the original Mjölnir from the Norse sagas? Because I promise you, its true story is far more chaotic, accidental, and utterly fascinating than you might imagine. Today, we're going beyond the surface-level understanding and digging into the true origin story of Mjölnir. We'll explore the trickery, the dwarven craftsmanship, the fateful accident that gave it its unique form, and why Thor, the mighty god of thunder, actually needed a set of special accessories just to wield it. This is the in-depth explanation of Mjölnir you've been waiting for, directly from the ancient texts. So, settle in, because we're about to demystify one of Norse mythology's greatest legends. Our story begins, as many great Norse myths do, with the mischievous Loki. Loki, the master of deception and chaos, often found himself in hot water with the other gods of Asgard. This particular escapade began with a prank that went a little too far, even for him. One night, while Sif, Thor's beloved wife, was sleeping, Loki decided to cut off all her beautiful golden hair. We don't know why exactly he did it. Perhaps boredom, perhaps spite, perhaps just a desire to stir things up. But when Thor discovered his wife's shorn head, he was, shall we say, less than pleased. Thor's rage, as you can imagine, was legendary, and Loki found himself facing the very real threat of having every bone in his body broken. Desperate to avoid Thor's wrath, Loki swore he would find a way to replace Sif's hair with something even more magnificent. This vow led him to the dwarves, the master craftsmen of the cosmos, who resided deep within the mountains and caverns of the 9 realms. Loki first approached a group of dwarven brothers, the sons of Ivaldi. He challenged them to create 3 treasures for the gods that would surpass anything ever seen. The dwarves, eager to prove their skill, accepted. They crafted Sif's new hair from pure gold, so fine it could grow like real hair, and it was glorious. But they didn't stop there. They also created a miraculous ship, Skidbladnir, which could be folded to fit in a pouch, and a powerful spear, Gungnir, for Odin, which would always hit its mark. Loki, always the provocateur, took these gifts and, feeling quite pleased with himself, began to boast to another set of dwarven brothers, Brokkr and Sindri, also known as Eitri. His arrogance would inadvertently set the stage for Mjölnir's creation. Loki, ever confident in his ability to manipulate, dared Brokkr and Sindri to create treasures that could rival those of the sons of Ivaldi. He essentially laid down a wager, betting his own head, literally, against their craftsmanship. Brokkr, confident in his brother Sindri's skill, accepted the challenge. The brothers then retreated to their forge, a place of intense heat, rhythmic hammering, and ancient magic. Sindri placed a pig's hide into the furnace and instructed Brokkr to pump the bellows continuously, without stopping, no matter what happened, until he returned. As Sindri worked his magic, a small fly, which was actually Loki in disguise, began to torment Brokkr. The fly stung him on the hand, but Brokkr, focused on his task, kept pumping. When Sindri returned, he pulled out their first magnificent creation, Gullinbursti, a golden-maned boar that could run faster than any horse, through air or water, and whose bristles glowed, illuminating the darkest nights. This was for Freya. Sindri then placed a new material into the furnace, gold. Again, he instructed Brokkr to keep pumping the bellows without interruption. Loki, still disguised as the fly, returned, this time stinging Brokkr on the neck, even harder than before. But again, Brokkr persevered, his resolve unyielding. When Sindri returned, he pulled out their second treasure, Draupnir, a magical gold arm ring for Odin. Every 9th night, 8 new gold rings of equal weight would drip from it, symbolizing endless wealth and prosperity. This was a truly magnificent gift, fit for the All-Father himself. But the best, or perhaps the most famous, was yet to come. For their third and final creation, Sindri placed iron into the furnace, giving Brokkr the same stern warning: do not stop pumping the bellows. This time, Loki, determined to sabotage the dwarves, stung Brokkr on his eyelid, biting so hard that blood began to stream into Brokkr's eye, blinding him. Brokkr, unable to see, risked stopping for just a moment to wipe the blood away. It was a brief pause, but it was enough to have a profound impact on the creation being forged. When Sindri returned and removed the iron from the furnace, he revealed a magnificent hammer. Its head was perfectly crafted, heavy and balanced, but its handle was noticeably short. This was Mjölnir. Despite the small imperfection, Sindri declared it the greatest treasure of all. He explained that Mjölnir would never fail, no matter how hard it struck. It would always return to its wielder's hand after being thrown. And, crucially, it possessed the power to shatter any obstacle and conjure thunder and lightning. The dwarves then presented their 3 gifts to the gods in Asgard, with Loki proudly showcasing the treasures from the sons of Ivaldi. The gods, sitting on their judgment thrones, carefully examined all 6 treasures. Odin received Gungnir and Draupnir, Freyr received Skidbladnir and Gullinbursti, and Thor received the golden hair for Sif and Mjölnir. It's incredible to think that the most powerful weapon in the Norse cosmos, a tool that kept the chaotic forces of the Jotnar at bay, was technically a mistake. But in that short handle, we see a reflection of the Norse spirit itself, imperfect, resilient, and undeniably powerful. But Mjölnir wasn't just a story for the Vikings, it was a part of their daily lives. Long after the age of the sagas, archaeologists continue to find small Mjölnir amulets across Scandinavia, and even as far as Britain. For the average Norse farmer or sailor, the hammer wasn't just Thor's weapon, it was their protection. It was a symbol of hallowing, used to bless marriages, births, and even funerals. When you wore a hammer around your neck, you weren't just a fan of a myth. You were under the protection of the Thunderer himself. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video.